Good morning, sir. And, we heartily welcome you to this session. So
Thank you
participants,
very much.
today we have Professor Makarand Upadhyaya from University of Bahrain. So let me introduce Professor Makarand Upadhyaya, sir. So Dr. Makarand Upadhyaya is currently an Associate Professor, Department of Management and Marketing, College of Business Administration, University of Bahrain. He earned his PhD from University of Rajasthan, Jaipur in 2010. He also holds MBA, PGDPM, and PGDCA from Vikram University, Ujjain. He has more than 25 years of combined experience in industry and academia, widely traveled around the globe. He has awarded the Faculty Distinguished Scholarship Award in 2007 by the Research Council India. His area of research fall within the domain of consumer behavior, strategic board leadership. He also chair and is a member of various committees and advisory boards. He authored approximately 6 books. A few of them are Marketing Lessons, Leadership, Public-Private Partnership, Marketing Management Concept Theories and Practices, Marketing Strategies and Management, Sector Analysis, Media Planning, Impact of TV Advertisements on Children. Mr. Upadhyay has nearly 90 papers published in several international journals. He has been the chairperson and keynote speaker at various forums of business strategies and economic growth. He has conducted more than 40 training and development sessions on client relationship, behavioral aspects of overseas market, stress management, interpersonal skills, and team buildings for senior and junior level corporate managers. He was a guide and a mentor to students pursuing PhD, MBA courses. He was a national sports player in basketball and cricket as well. Thank you so much. I am very delighted to read this content, Makarand sir, and we are very pleased to have you for this session. Over to Makarand sir.
Thank you, Professor Shalini, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to interact and share my views with the august audience that you have, and the people who are joined and people who are going to listen to me. And at the same time, I am also thankful to Dr. Krishna that he has invited me to take this session. And since long, he was after me that I have to take a session in his institute. I accepted his request. Now I'm here to make a presentation, which is, uh, something which we do every day, managing stress, managing emotions. So with the background that I know that you must be having some knowledge of emotions, with that background, I'm going to talk about, firstly, I'm going to talk about what is emotions and what are the different type of emotions and how you manage those emotions. Because it's not very comprehensive, not very theoretical, but it is related to both in theory plus a real life experience that we have in a uh, work profession or at home or at different situations, so I'll be dealing with all those situations, also talking about how to uh, take care of your stress, do not overstress yourself, how to control your emotions, what are the different types of emotions that we have in our human nature, and how these emotions can be controlled with respect to different situation, different parameter that we are going to talk about. I will not talk about the theory part of emotions, what are the different theories that we use to understand emotion, but we will talk about what is emotion. So when we once I finish the presentation, then you can ask your queries if you have, or questions if you have. So I request the concerned person to uh, change the slide so that I can go ahead. Okay. Yeah, if I can do it myself, it will be better. Okay, fine. So when we talk about emotions, what is emotion? and that we will discuss in coming slides. What we think about emotion. Is emotion good or bad? Do we understand that the emotionally stress people, too much of emotion is good, to less emotion is good, and how to balance the emotions? So when we talk about your life, in your life, you have all the phases like love, joy, fear, sadness, surprise, and anger also. So you have a mixed bag of emotions. You have one extreme of positiveness, another extreme of negativeness. So you cannot be a totally positive goody goody person and totally negative, always fighting, having jealous negativity in your mind. Balance yourself. You have to have a pinch of everything, goodness, and sometimes you have to have a jealous. If you don't have the negative aspirations in your mind, you will not grow. Same thing happens when I joined internationally. I have traveled all over the world. We meet so many professors of different countries. They have the first thing that I see to them is the super ego they have. They think they are superior than others. When they talk, we can understand what knowledge they are sharing, from where they are sharing, how they speak, what is their communication style, how much knowledge they have, or how much understanding they have about the subject. So you can understand with the help of knowledge and experience. Why I'm talking about this? You can control your emotions, especially on the basis of knowledge and experience that you get in your life. These two parameters, please remember, these two parameters are very important for managing emotions at home, at workplace, and across the board I'm talking about. So when you talk about love, joy, fear, sadness, surprise, anger, these are the combinations of emotions that we have in a real life. What are emotions? They are intense feelings that are directed at someone or something. Your intense feelings about what you think about somebody or yourself. So when we talk about emotions, emotions happens in your mind. Mind is a central nervous system. When we talk about mind, we divide the brain into two halves, right and left. So when we talk about the right half of the brain, we talk about the emotional part. When we talk about emotional part, we are thinking more towards from right side of the brain, and the left side of the brain is more devoted to logical part, like 2 plus 2. You can understand by the face of a person, by the way he behaves in front of you. If he's more calculative, and another person is talking about more beauty, more involvement, more friendly, more smiling, and he's talking about culture, he's talking about interacting and making everybody happy. So these two types of people, by seeing their face, you can understand their personality. The people who think more towards quantity, numbers, they are taking they are uh, using left side of mind more. So are their emotions will be based on money, revenue, how to earn money, especially the people who takes finance, the people who take accounting. I don't say they don't have the other part of emotions, but they put more emphasis on the quantity part of the emotions, and then they talk about the emotional part, which is the right hand side. So second part, emotions are private experiences. Yes, nobody can compel you until unless you are stressed, until unless you take that particular point or that particular decision or that particular viewpoint in your mind. And when you analyze that viewpoint, that situation in your mind, then it is how you think. You think logically, or you think uh, in a different manner, emotionally. So if you have more of emotion part, you will be, we will discuss this in detail. and we will talk about more in the coming slides. Yes, there are four components of emotions: feeling, social expressiveness. Bodily means how your body or gestures help to uh, depict emotions, your emotions, and the sense of purpose. Why you are making this particular point, why you are talking to the person, what is the purpose behind it. On the basis of the purpose, also on the basis of interacting with the what we call, I'm not talking about my subject area, marketing or consumer behavior, why I should interact with the customer, what is the purpose behind it. I am going to involve myself emotionally or rationally with the customers. What is more effective in your life, whenever you're talking about the purpose of emotions, it should be rational or related to your mindset. So when you talk about related to the mindset, you are more emotional part, and your right hand side of the mind is working faster than the left hand side. So this is the feeling that is being developed, and how this feeling is being developed we will discuss in the next slide. Yeah. This is the just picture that depicts the different faces of the world leaders. You can see their faces. Some of them are so serious, some are smiling, some are, nervous. So these are the different, uh, face. You can read the face of a person. You can understand what type of thinking they are. Think they think about the people, they think about the situation, how they analyze the situation. So all these faces are the depictions of the emotions that they have in their mind. They can be very serious, they can be sometimes they laugh. All these things happens in here. So you can talk about the world leaders, how I'm not going to talk more into it, that we will discuss in the coming slide. Yes, sir, go ahead. This is just a expression of emotions by different leaders. Yes, the factor affecting emotion, the kids, the emotion of a kid, how they behave. They don't think logically. They are more attached to the emotions, of a mother, father, or parents. So on the basis of this, emotional factors, we develop our emotions. Our emotions start from our childhood. If how you are managed in your family, how your parents have taken care of you, that is also one of the reason to understand emotions. And emotional rationality also happens with what background that we have. Yeah, go ahead with the next slide. Rationality that we have about the background that we possess in our life. Yeah, now we are talking about the different aspects of emotion, the personality and the culture. What personality traits you have? Introvert or outspoken, or you are very shy person, or you are a person who always wants to dominate others. So these are some of the traits that is inherited. Many times we say, and here also when we discuss with the leaders of different organizations, and when we go for a training purpose, and when we train them in particular aspect of emotion or particular aspect of consumer behavior, we always talk about that we are training you, we are developing one of the aspects of your personality. We are just enhancing that aspect. We cannot change your personality altogether. It's very difficult to change the personality of a person when his personality has become very rigid. When you are young, it is easy to change. When you are old and you are becoming older, it's become very difficult to change the personality. So personality also uh, one of the factor which motivates or demotivates your emotion. Another factor is the culture. Yes, plays a very important role, uh, whether you are in your own country or you're working outside the country. the culture is very important. When you go to, even in our own country, how you behave in one part of our country, like northern part, and how you behave in southern part, there will be a difference, altogether in taking care of your employees, talking to the customer, talking to your students. And when you go out from the country, your behavior will change. So culture also develop your emotions. Culture also develops your behavior. So behavior part is totally devoted to the culture, how you develop your culture. Because there are many times when you go out of your country, you have to change your behavior as per the culture of that particular country. Same thing happens when you are joining a different organization. They have a different culture altogether. The culture also what you call prevails or dominates or dominated by the head of the institution. So that is also very important when we are managing the emotions. There are a few more factors that we are going to talk about. Yeah, weather, the climate that we are talking about. Your emotion also changes when the climate changes with okay, fine. With respect to the prevailing climate, if the climate is very hot, how you you manage your emotions. When the climate is cool, how you manage your emotions. So climatical changes also makes the difference in your emotion than the stress. So are you comfortable to take stress, lot of stress, or even a small stress? Another situation, even small stress can upset your emotions. So how you manage your stress, that is also one of the part of managing your emotions. Yes, go ahead. Then we talk about the age. Yeah, the next slide is talking about the age. The age factor is also very important. Just like what we call in marketing product life cycle, same thing happens with the age also. We take birth, we are young, we become mature, adult, and then we decline. So in every part of your age, you play a different type of emotions. When you are young or when you are kids, your emotions are different altogether. When you become independent in the college or universities, when you go, your emotions are different. When you because you have to have a very strong emotions to manage the job and the family and the colleagues, maybe the friends also. So all these factors, they are accordance with the age. So managing emotions at different levels of your age is also very important. Then the gender, yes, male and female. Females are more emotionally uh, related to someone. The males are what, this is the general perception I'm talking about. Males are more dominating and the females are more what we call loving or caring that we talk about. And this is applicable across the board. I'm not talking about in our own culture also. So gender also plays very important role, is developing your emotions, what type of person you are. So when you talk, I gave you a very good example of how you divide your emotions in your brain. What type of brain is working more when you're thinking about and then when you're talking about quantity, 2 plus 2 is 4, which part of the brain is working more? So same thing happens with the male and female also. And what type of thinking they have, on the basis of this, the emotions are developed. Environment, yes, very important factor. Your surroundings are very important where you work, with whom you are interacting, how you are behaving, how the other person is behaving. So all those factors are important when you work and when you go home. Even the home environment is also very important to manage the emotions of the uh, people. And you also emotions are also talked about when you are in a different situation. environmental factors, situational factors, your strength, your weaknesses, and if there are some opportunities are there in the environment, how you're going to take care of this. Are you going to talk about in a logical manner or emotional stand how to manage your emotions? Are you going to manage your emotions in the environment? If you have the strength to manage, if you have a weakness, then how you are going to manage those emotions, or how you are going to develop that emotions, and then the marital relationship, your married life at home, at workplace. If you're working together, then how you manage your married life or how you manage your professional life uh, during the workplace, or if your partner is not working, then how you manage your family life. All this depends upon the relationship that you develop at home. Also give you positive or the negative side of motion. I don't want to discuss more about this, but you can understand. So, yeah, please. Organizational and social. Where do you work? The leadership style, organizational, the autocratic or mechanistic style of leadership, more democratic, more autocratic, more country club style of leadership, more charismatic leadership. Also, give the impression of emotions, or they provide different types of emotions. When the leader provides you democracy, freedom to do your work, you feel so happy. If uh, the organization provides autocratic style of leadership, how you feel. So all those things are involved when we are talking about the organizational environment or the factors related to your work or professional development of the particular employee or the concerned employee who's working under you. And even people who are working under you or above you, they also create, emotional stressful. You are not stressful, you are purposeful, or you're without any purpose. So all these things happen when you work in organization. And organizational culture is also very important. What type of culture is prevailing in your organization? And this culture development takes place in any organization with respect to the leadership they have provided. uh, that is very important. And you can talk about more about leadership, what style of leadership they have in your organization or they possess. Another aspect of or another factor which create impact uh, in your life, especially managing your emotion, is the social factor. um, we follow this type of culture in Gulf area. You can see the picture, you can understand the emotional balance of the female in this area, and the you can understand how free we are in India, whether it's a female or a male. So that social belongingness is also there. How you act and react in a society, what type of society you are living, that also provides you emotional bonding, emotional attachment, emotional freedom. Even sometimes it happens these emotional or the social leadership also creates emotional disbalance. So, and these emotional disbalance or emotional understanding of the society is very important when we talk about the parametric approach of managing emotions. Some example I have given over here. Can you describe or depict the emotions, action, or state looking at this picture? There are four pictures. You can understand what type of excitement they have, how the female they feel when they watch any horror movie. The first picture. Then the male and the female, maybe a married couple, how they feel when they see something exciting or something called horror. So the action of a male and action of a female. This can also depict, emotionally how which who is more stronger because during this particular situation, male or a female, how they react under one particular situation. This picture is depicting very clearly. Then the father and the son relationship, how strong they are, the bonding between the father and the son, bonding between the mother and the daughter. Whenever you see these type of emotional rationality, then you can understand, how closely they are related. Take an example. When we talk about the father is holding the hands of his son or a daughter. In another case, the son and a daughter, or a daughter is holding the hand of a father, which will create more bonding, emotional bonding. Father holding the hand of a son or a daughter, or daughter or a son holding the hand of a father or a mother. You can take an example of father or mother. In both the cases, the bonding, see, the relationship remains the same, but the bonding will change. Who will have more security, and who will take the risk on their shoulder? When father is holding the hands of a children, a son or a daughter, I don't use the word called children, is a combined word, but I want to divide it to father, a son and a daughter. They are providing the security. In any situation, anything happens, I will not leave your hands. This is the feeling that, or this is the emotional attachment and the feeling they have created in the mind of their children, son or daughter. Vice versa, when the daughter or the son is holding the hands of the father, anytime anything can happen, they can leave the hands, especially when they are kids, because of situational reasons. They like something, they will run here and there if they are small, or if they cannot take a lot of stress, they leave the hands, they leave the hands. But the father will never leave the hands, or the mother will never leave the hands of their kids altogether. That is also a type of bonding that we have when we talk about emotional attachment with our customers in marketing, or emotional attachments of our employees in our organization. If the organization is holding the hands of an employee, then the security is there. When the employees are only holding the hands of an organization for the purpose of salary, for the purpose of livelihood, then any day the organization can say no, or the employee can say no, and they can leave each other. The next part of the discussion will be more of theoretical type, but I will make it more on the lighter side, because before that we were talking about more of practical type, and then we build the story, and now we talk about some of the theories which are attached with the emotions, and how these theories can help you to overcome your emotions or manage your emotions. The definition of emotion is a very complex psychological phenomena that happens in your brain, which occurs in human being's life. That is very correctly depicted. It is an intense feeling that are directed at someone or something, which we have already discussed in the second slide. Category of emotions: primary emotions. Primary emotions, human emotion types, are the one triggered in response to an event. When you see watching a cricket match or Formula One car race, or you are watching a beauty contest, how you feel? What type of feeling you have? Do you feel distress? You feel stressed? You feel happy? You feel joyous? You feel motivated? You feel rejuvenated? So that is the primary. After involving in the event, how you feel. Second part is secondary emotion. If we experience fear, the secondary emotion will be I'm feeling fear, that what will happen today. I have a fear in my mind, what will happen today. I am there in the organization, or I am not there in the organization. I am there in the organization, or I am not there in the organization, is the secondary feeling. Primary feeling is a fear. And what type of fear I have? After having a fear, what will happen to me? What will be the resultant? What will be the outcome? Yes or no? When you play, you feel very happy when you win any race or any match, or when you get extra bonus. You have you feel so happy, that is a primary emotion, happiness. But after getting the money, are you going to deposit this money in the bank to get interest, or you will spend the money for getting some asset or paying the loan? Again, you have two, secondary emotions that is again related to your part of your primary relations. So secondary emotions are derived from the primary. So first, foremost important thing is to understand what is my primary emotions, and once the primary emotions is depicted, we can talk about the secondary emotions and manage the life. So, but sometimes it happens that we only talk about the primary emotions. We do not diagnose or we not interpret the secondary emotions at all. So, but it's very important to understand the secondary emotions involvement in your life and how to overcome them. Important cognitive and emotion, managing your emotions. What is the connection between how we think about me, about your colleague, about your family, about your parents, how you think, that is cognition. And how you feel, how you feel under that particular situation, how you think about your colleague, you think he is a very motivated person, and what is your feeling for that particular colleague, that you are that whenever I require his help, he's always there. I feel positive when I see him, that is your feeling. The cognitive, how we think cognitive, we think that the colleague is very motivated, colleague is very friendly, colleague is always ready to help. That what I think in my mind. And what is my feeling for that colleague is called emotions. And can we change our emotions by changing our thinking? Yes. This is how we manage our life. We change many times, we change our emotions because we change our thinking. We are negative, our emotions are negative. If we convert our negativity to positivity, our emotions will become positive. So that is also one of the way how you manage the cognition and emotions in your life. Cognition can define emotions. Arousal response to one event. I have already talked about this in the previous slide regarding the cricket match. How you think, what you think about the player when you see the player in the ground, how you feel, what is your feeling for that? When you see the player, you think this particular player who is playing in the cricket team is a very strong batsman or strong, very good pace bowler, very good fielder. This is the thinking that you have generated or stored in your mind. On this thinking, you develop the feeling, your attachment with the player, your perception about the player, and you develop a virtual relationship with the player, that whenever you think a player, whenever a name comes about that player, you have this particular feeling in your mind. This is the cognitive and emotional rationality that we possess in our life. Yes, we express emotions. Emotions are expressed on the face, by the body, and by the modulation of voice. Is this non-verbal language of emotion universal? Yes. Many times you don't speak. Your gesture speaks more than your words. Your body language speaks more than your words. So body language can tell the emotion of a person. If you're sad, your face will depict what type of feelings you have. If you're smiling, cheerful, it can depict that what you think. When you see this uh, family, kids, father and mother, or a husband or wife, all are cheerful. So what feeling you will get out of it? They have a very happy family. Even they are not speaking, they are happy. But the body language, the gestures which are being shown in this picture can make you understand the feelings that they have within themselves and portraying to others. The another picture where the kids and the grandfather is there, you can understand the relationship when they are sitting in the close proximity of the grandfather, and the grandfather is showing a book or telling the kids some story. The relationship, the bonding that we are talking about between the kids and the uh, parents or the grandfather, they have. Okay. Non-verbal communication. Yes, most of us good at decoding emotion through non-verbal communication. I told you in the previous slides, the family background can depict how good, how bad. If all the faces are gloomy, angry, not cheerful, you can understand by their faces. You even they are not speaking, they are under stress, they are not happy. And when you see the smiling faces, you can understand easily. Angry faces will pop out faster than the single happy faces in a group of group of a customer, or I talk a group of employees. When all are smiling and one particular face in the group or employee is not smiling, he's having a very gloomy face, then but that particular non-smiling person takes your attraction. You go and ask him, why you are not feeling comfortable, what happened to you. Same thing happens when we talk about the group of faces that I'm showing you here. You can see all the faces happy, happy, and you can find one face which is not happy. That face reflects the emotion, different type of emotions, why the person is not happy, why the person feel distress or stress. Maybe sometimes it happens that you are distressed, still you are not feeling happy. Sometimes you are stressed, you are not feeling happy. That is a natural bound approach altogether. Many times it happens that you earn more but you're not happy. We will be talking about this in coming slide. When you have more money, you have more happiness. This I will discuss after few slides. Analyzing emotions. Analysis of emotions are carried on different levels. I'm not going to talk deep into it. These are the theoretical background on which the emotional theories are based. Biological influence, like physiological arousal and other things that we talk under this particular heading: biological, psychological influence, cognitive labeling, and gender differences that we have already discussed. Social cultural influence, we have already discussed how social create impact in the emotions. Biological influence uh, are happening in your brain, which I discuss the different sides of your brain, the right and the left side of your brain. If you're using more of right side, you're more emotional person, you have more of feelings. If you're using the left side biologically, this happens from your childhood, and this is being inherited from your family. But sometimes you also develop when you grow up. You in the childhood you are more emotional, but when you grow up in your life and you start working, you develop or you acquire more qualifications, you change your mindset. Once you change from your mindset from logical to emotional or emotional to logical, that trends can also be done, and that training we do it, how to change this emotional rationality. As you have interpersonal skill, in management we talk about interpersonal skills, the higher level, the middle level, and the lower level, how they think, what is their approach towards a problem, how they resolve a problem. So slowly we develop the lower level management to middle to higher level on the basis of biological influence that is being developed or created in their mindset, and developing from left to right or right to left. Yes, go ahead. Culture and gender difference and managing them. Boys respond to anger by moving away from that situation. This is a general perception all over the world, while the girls, they talk to their friends or listen to the music. This is one of the way how they manage their emotions, their feelings. The males, especially the boys, they move away from the situation and they don't discuss at all. But the females, they talk to their friends or they listen music. The expression of anger is more encouraged in cultures that do not promote group behavior than in culture that do promote group behavior. Yes, vice versa. Expression of anger is more encouraged in cultures. Some cultures uh, creating enmity or creating differences is a part of their life. And in some culture or in some traditional approach, the creation of difference is not there at all. Creation of difference or creating difference between people is one of the way for having a conflict. To avoid conflict, don't create any cultural difference. In India, we live so happily. We follow all the culture. We celebrate all the, you know, uh, festivals, occasions, and we interact each one so happily, frequently. But when you go outside the country and when you visit some of the countries around the globe, you don't find the same, uh, you know, feeling. There, the cultural difference will be very big, very vast. Their feelings will be totally different. When you work in your own country, when I work in India, when I was working with BITS Pilani or Indian Institute of Health Management, the culture, the bonding with the colleagues was so strong. And but when you work outside the country, you have no bonding at all. Here, everything is professional. Work, go home, finish. At the end of the day, you will get your salary, and you are least bother what is happening around you. This is also a type of a culture that has we have to adopt, and we have to be, continue with this culture if we want to work over here or when we work in our own country. That is the bonding that we are talking about. So culture also creates bonding. Culture also creates a particular type of feeling that is being developed when you are under that particular culture or influenced by that particular culture. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, this is what we are talking. Emotional ups and downs. Our positive mood rise to the maximum within 6 to 7 hours after waking up. Negative moods stay more or less the same throughout the day. If you have a negativity in your mind, it will be there, in your brain or in your mind for a longer time. But motivation goes to the peak in 6 to 7 hours, stays there, and then slowly it declines. So we believe that positive emotion should be more, negative emotions should be less, but there should be a balance between both emotions, positive or negative, less of negative, more of positive. Sometimes you want to grow, more of negativity is there, less of positivity is there. You want to grow, so you have to achieve 100% marks. You have to achieve 90% marks. And if you want to be promoted, then one has to face the competition. In competition, you are relegating the other opponents to achieve the number one position. So there, the negativity works for the betterment of your professional life. But this thing never happens in your family that you want to become or overtake your father or grandfather, or your mother or grandmother. There, that situation will be totally different. If you are younger, you will remain younger throughout the life, throughout the family life cycle. Yes, please go ahead. The next slide is talking about the money and the happiness. Yes, does money buy happiness? Wealth is like health. This is what we think. Is its alter or sorry, its utter absence can breed misery. Yes, yet having it is no guarantee of happiness. I just reading word by word and understanding exactly the gravity of each word means when you have more money you are more happy. This is a graph, a research, or one of my student. uh, in USA, he developed this, the relationship between happiness and money by doing one search for me uh, with respect to Walmart and Ca- Costa, the coffee shop, the Walmart coffee shop and the Costa coffee shop, and what type of customers they go, wealthy customers or medium income group customers, more the people who go, uh, who have more money, they spend more time over there. They feel they are more motivated, or they feel happy when they sit, and why they sit for 4 hours, what they do, all the things we did in the research. So I'm talking about with respect to what happens around the globe. It is not mandatory that the money will buy happiness for you. Yes, sometimes and few aspects of happiness you can purchase through money, but not all the happiness you can purchase through money. This is your emotional feeling, and you have to balance, and you have to maintain that emotions in your life. That is more important. Yeah, go ahead. Another slide, please. How we can perceive emotions. I told you about the body posture, the way we hold our body when we walk, stand, and sit gives cues to others about our emotional state. Yeah, long faces, down, your broken structure. I'm not talking about the fracture. I'm talking about broken structure, not very alert. Your dim face, your lethargic situation can depict that what type of emotion. Are you motivated? Are you rejuvenated? You are feeling sad, stressed. So it is not mandatory that you have to enhance the brain power only. Even your body and your face can depict what type of emotions you have, how to manage your emotions. Sometimes you are distressed, but you are very strong and very positive in your body language. Your distress emotions do not reflect on your body. So this is the way how you can manage your emotions. This is the thing that I wanted to tell you. Even if you are distressed, even you are stressed, even you are happy, or you are unhappy, it should not reflect on your body, or on your posture, how you walk, how you talk, how you stand, how you sit. Otherwise, people will have a negative thinking about you. Don't create this negative thinking by showing your gestures in a negative way. Patterns, we may choose our words carefully when we are angry or expressing happiness. Yes, we are just shooting a bullet. When we speak, a word should be properly managed. I say not properly spoken, properly managed. When we are speaking, each and every word should be managed. We speak anything. There are many people in the world, they have a wonderful communication, but what they are speaking, nobody knows. They are talking about the stories, but there is no relevance of the story altogether. There are some people and some professor and some uh, leaders whom I have met. They speak only few lines, but that few lines talks about everything about their emotions, their attachment towards their employee, how they are emotionally attached with their employee, with their family. Only few words. They don't talk about a lengthy story. They don't discuss too much about the situation, about the organization, but those few words, are carefully managed. I don't use a negative approach. Are carefully managed to depict what type of feelings you have, what type of understanding you have with related to the situation. Our emotions cause us not only the feeling differently, but also to speak differently. Many times it happens that we are sad, or we have a fear. Fear or sad is negativity. So under this particular situation, how you speak, how you manage. I told you, when you are sad, when you are not feeling comfortable, your gesture should be positive. That is the depiction that you speak. Even you are stressed, you have a problem in your life, but you are working in a very good organization. That background should not be depicted in your work. You should be always positive when you are sitting, when you're talking, when you're standing, when you're walking, when you're interacting with your colleague. You should be positive. That is one of the way how you manage your emotions. Our speech pattern also change depending on our emotional state. Yes, very correct. This is definitely very happens. uh, how you make the speech in public, how you interact in the classes. uh, I slept, I give you a very good example. Yesterday I was taking online classes for one of the universities in Mexico, American University in Mexico. I slept at 1:15 in the night. That See the amount of work we do over here. 1:15 in the night, almost today morning I slept, and 3:30 I woke up. I prepared everything for the today's presentation. I was not stressed. See, everything, can you think about me that I'm under stress? You can, the way I speak, the way I discuss the topic with you. So this is how you manage your stress, how you manage your feelings. Even you have a workload. People say, I'm having so much of workload, I'm feeling this stress. No, you have to manage your workload to overcome your feeling. This is called management of emotions. Then our regular pace can increase or decrease in rate and pitch, tone, and volume. This can be done, how you speak. You speak bluntly. How what is your modulation? Sometimes it happens that you speak very fast. I do speak very fast, but as per the requirement, I can slow down also. I can speak word by word, because when I speak to my students in India, when I speak to my students in UK and USA, I speak very fast because they understand the language very well. But when I speak over here, I have to be very selective. Okay. Anything? Please go ahead. Hello. Yeah, gestures. I told you the body language. Gestures taken a different meaning in different cultures. A gesture is general. In one way, human communicate emotion to each other. This is what we are talking about, the handshake. Uh, handshake. Uh, okay. Wait. A handshake. How you do the handshake? The tightening of your hands, where and hard, pressing hard, just touching lightly, very tight. So that also depict your feeling. If you're very happy, you have a very strong handshake. If you are very sad, well, okay, just give two fingers and okay, fine, go ahead. So this also depict your feelings and emotions with others when you're interacting. Yeah, positive emotions, positive emotions that lead one to feel good about yourself, oneself, and lead to an emotionally happy and satisfied result. Positive human emotions. Some of the positive emotions are hopeful, confident, and peaceful. It makes you very happy. Positive emotions. They make you very. Always talk about these good words. They are the synonyms that you have to keep in your mind, that you are always hopeful, confident, and when you do the work, at the end of the day, you are very peaceful. Whether just now I discuss, money cannot earn you happiness. Money cannot purchase the emotions. So yes, I understand. Is needed to run our livelihood. But too much of money and no money also create problems in our life. So you can understand the situation when you have too much of money, how to manage that money. When you don't have money, how to earn money. So the situation will be, the cases will be totally different, and the emotional attachment or emotional stability will be totally different during that particular situation. That is called the peaceful. So you have to balance, not too much, not too less. Yeah, go ahead. Next, yeah, negative emotions. Emotions sap your energy because you think negatively. You are just wasting your energy, undermines your effectiveness. In a negative emotion state, you find the lack of desire to do anything. Like this kid, keep crying because nobody is taking care of him, nobody is pampering him. If the somebody will come and pamper his, he will feel more emotionally, attached. Or if you give more importance, the kids needs more important, they don't need anything else. uh, just pampering, important means just pampering, and they feel so happy. So negative emotions are really what we say is not required, but at the same time it's also required to pinch here and there to grow in your life. Otherwise negative emotions, they take away your energy. You keep thinking about negativity and you want and you lose all your positive side of your life. Yeah, go ahead. What are the different types of negative emotions that is there in the second slide? Exhausted, panic, and horrible. Some of the negative emotions are like this. Exhausted, you feel exhausted, you feel panic, fear, jealousy that somebody will take away my job, somebody will take away my vehicle, somebody will come to my home to ask for the loan. You have always have a fear. Horrible situations because of your uh, because of your behavior, because of your discussion, because of your interaction or interrelationship, you have created a horrible situation, and that situation is creating negative emotions in your life. So be positive and always help each other so that negativity is not there in your life. That is my request. Yeah, go ahead. Speech pattern manage emotions. This we have already discussed. We may choose our words carefully when we are angry or expressing happiness. Our emotions cause us not only to feel differently but also to speak differently. When we are motivated, when we are feeling happy, how we talk. When we are stressed, when we are not motivated, how we talk. So that is the two different situations, and we talk differently altogether. Yeah, go ahead, please. Facial expressions. Again, the same, a similar type of faces I am showing over here, what we discussed in the first two slide, the second slide of our discussion. You see the faces. Through faces also, you can understand the emotional rationality or emotions of different people altogether. People who are, uh, you know, happy, distressed, not liking, liking, or they are not feeling good, they are crying, or they have excitement. So facial expressions are also the show cause of emotions. Yeah, go ahead, please. Uh, Perceiving emotions, the first step is understanding emotion. It is accurately perceived and how you think about it. How you think about it. In many cases, this might involve understanding non-verbal signals such as body language and facial expression. Many times, it is not mandatory that the person has to speak to you. Through his body gestures, you can understand his or her emotions. So this is that is why we always say manage your emotions. Nobody will come and manage your emotion. It is you who has to manage your emotions, internally and outward also. Outward in the gesture, body language, the way you sit, talk. I told you all these aspects. Internally, how you think and what part of your brain is thinking more, logical or emotion, or you are giving importance to both the part of the brain and thinking in one particular direction. That is how you manage emotions. This is what picture is talking about, how the kid is playing with his face, and the face is depicting the different facial expressions. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, last few slides. Managing emotion, the ability to manage emotion effectively is a key part of emotional intelligence that we are talking about. Emotional intelligence is a big subject I cannot discuss now, but understanding uh, again with respect to what I discussed about the brain. So how in emotional intelligence we talk about the uh, level of neurons generation and how extra neurons in the brain creates adrenaline, and that adrenaline inhibits the chemical which excites the heart, and you have more blood flow in your body and you become more motivated. That is again a process of creating positive emotions in our life that we can discuss under emotional intelligence when we have a chapter or discussion for this particular topic. Regulating emotions, responding appropriately, and responding to the emotions of others are also important aspect of emotional management. Yes, we have to control our emotions, and we have to see that uh, we are not overstressed with the emotions of others. We have to manage the emotions in a positive manner. We should not have a negativity so that we feel unhappy about our own emotion on the action or reaction that we perform. Yeah, the last slide. Conclusion. It is possible to become more aware of our emotions. Yes, what type of a person you are, you should be aware of it. Are you too friendly, too emotional? uh, have a lot of fear in your mind. You feel rejuvenated. You are too much helpful. You understand your emotions better than other telling you that you are like this, because you are a person who's using your own brain. So on the basis of this, you can evaluate, or you can understand, you can depict, you can manage your emotions. Why others should manage your emotions? It is you who has to manage your emotion, and you have to find what type of emotional person you have, where you have weaknesses, where you have strength. Recognize your emotion in the early stage before they feel out of your control. This is one of the uh, uh, thing that you have to manage in emotions. Just 1 minute, Dr. Shalini. Recognize your emotions in this early stage so that you can overlook the emotions. Then last, review and understand the source of the difficult feelings you just experienced, and then you can resolve it and find a solution for that. And then once the problem is resolved, you feel more happy and rejuvenated, so your emotions will be positive in that particular sense. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So is anyone is having any question? The house is open for question. Is any participant want to say anything, having any doubt, any query, want to give any feedback? The house is open for discussion. If you have any query, you simply raise your hand. We will allow you to unmute. The participants, if you have any doubt, any query, any suggestion, any feedback, the house is open for discussion. Kindly raise your hands. We will allow you. No doubt? Nothing to share? Okay. Makarand sir, I hope there is no doubt why people are not responding. So
Okay.
I think we should conclude this session. Makarand sir, thank you so much for this enlightening session. And I hope that participant has also enjoyed this session a lot. And sir, we are highly privileged to hear you from. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shalini, and the August audience. Thank you very much for patient listening and providing me this opportunity to share my uh, feelings or the knowledge that I have with you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Wishing you
sir. We
all
are
the best in
looking
your life and
forward
career.
from listening you more in upcoming sessions also.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Professor Shalini. Thank you. Take care. Huh?
you,
Take
sir.
care.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you. Take care.